Well, I'm back and in 1.4 now. So I have been tinkering here and there with the update over the past couple of days, but nothing too serious, just a little bit of fishing, gathering some materials. So I've also spent a little bit of time farming mimics in the artificial crimson biome. I bought a companion cube off a traveling merchant and an artisan loaf. So I'll take that now and get the permanent buff. So I did get the fetid bang nax. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, almost certainly. I believe they have had a bit of a nerf in 1.4, but I still quite like them as a weapon. I don't know that they'll necessarily take over from the Death Sickle for me though. Not sure. It'll be one of those things that I'll think about. I've also been planning loadouts, so I have one sort of half set up here that's a non-combat loadout. So for things like fishing, building, and I've gathered up a few accessories which I will be using or looking to combine for a loadout, and I've just bought a paint sprayer which allows me to craft the Architect's Gizmo pack. So I can come down here and craft that, and I believe I'm still looking for one of the items to upgrade it further. So I don't have an ancient chisel, or if I do, I've lost it, possibly sold it. But yes, there's plenty to explore. I still haven't looked at the changes to melee weapons, so I haven't even swung the True Knight's Edge since... Whoa! That is very different. I mean, I've got to try it out on some enemies now. Let's go to the jungle. So, oops, helps to use the right loadout. Oh, it just looks good. That is a major change, and it's definitely a change for the better. Here we go, some enemies. Ooh, wow. Turtle. Oh, giant tortoise, whatever. Yeah, now this is a fun weapon to use now. It was a little bit lackluster before, but I'm definitely liking the change. Well, now I've got to try out the True Excalibur, because that's supposed to have had an overhaul as well. I don't think... Oh no, the Excalibur's pretty different too. Tell you what, I'll try the Excalibur, and then I'll upgrade it to the True Excalibur. So it's definitely an improvement, but it's still nothing compared to the joy I feel using the True Knight's Edge. I mean, that's just a fun weapon to use, getting close. And go to town on the enemies. But there is still the True Excalibur to craft. So if I get some chlorophyte, I should be able to, somewhere here, there's the Excalibur. Let's just check what crafting station I need. My inventory's full of all sorts. I should have plenty of chlorophyte. Oops. So I should be able to craft. Here it is. The true Excalibur. Yeah, it's big. I don't know if the jungle's going to do it justice, really, just because of how tight the spaces are here. Ooh, the extra protection behind is appreciated though. Though there is still that feeling that you do need to be facing in the right direction to get the most out of it, which is good. Let's just see if I can attack through walls. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. But, oops. Ooh, I did not notice my health was so low. That is part of the danger, I guess, with having such a fun melee weapon. You get in too close. Okay, so you can't attack through walls, but there is a fair amount of leeway with going around blocks and still getting the benefits of that super wide arc. So yes, I'm sure I'll explore more later and discover more. Another thing I'm liking is the indications of where everything goes when you quick stack. Makes it a lot easier when to find things when you accidentally quick stack something that you didn't mean to. So I will be looking to fight Plantera today, but before I do, defeating Plantera will unlock the hard mode dungeon. And while we do have a pylon close to the dungeon entrance, I'm going to build a small little build near the dungeon that's actually on the level of the dungeon, and the perfect biome for that, so that we can get a pylon close, is the mushroom biome. I've already planted some glowing mushroom grass, so hopefully that's spread a fair bit to complete a biome. So here I've set up a farm, and it's designed so it can farm the worm, the truffle worm, for fighting Duke Fishrom. But helping that will of course be a small little town here and a pylon so that I can easily access it. Well, I haven't been time-lapsing this build just because it's quicker not to. And also the other way I can do a bit more experimenting and freestyling instead of having an idea of what I'm going to do to start off with. But something I have decided is that I need some more moss to cover some of the stone with, because I turned most of what I already had into bricks. So just out here collecting moss. It's a bit annoying that there's only a small chance to collect it. Oops. So yes, I do find the moss rather annoying to collect. At least once you get it. It's not a resource that you need to collect huge amounts of, but it still would be nicer if it was a little bit faster to collect. I have been going for a theme of mostly light, and so I'm just sprinkling in a bit of the moss around on the pieces of stone that are exposed to kind of tie the whole thing together, and adding in a little bit more mushroom grass. But the truffle worm farm does work, so that is going to make 3 I've caught so far, and I'm sure I'll catch plenty more. I've certainly seen a lot more than the 3 I've caught, but since I've been mostly focusing on building instead of catching the worms, I haven't actually managed to catch most of the ones I've seen. However, I am going to leave it there for now, and I'll give the truffle a chance to spawn in, and then we can buy the mushroom pylon from him. And until then, there is more things to do. So further things on my list of things to do before fighting Plantera. I'm going to quickly stop in at the Tavern Keep and buy a tier 2 summon, because I can. So I can only buy 1, and I'm going to go for the Lightning Aura. Yep. And buy that. So now we have a more powerful summon for the Etherean army event. I won't be fighting that today, but I will be fighting that soon, just to complete tier 2 before we unlock tier 3. More importantly though, and the reason why I'm coming down this way, is I haven't been in the underground desert ever since the start of hard mode. And the reason why it's important is I don't have a desert key, so I've got at least one of every key for the chests, dungeon chests, but I don't have a desert key. So why not spend some time in the desert killing some enemies, and of course not only am I giving myself a chance to get a desert key, I'm also unlocking some of these enemies for the bestiary. Although they are being a little bit slow to kill, so there is a trick you can use for any of the keys. Just summon in King Slime. And don't bother fighting him. I mean, my minions will do plenty of damage, but the idea is he'll spawn in all of his minions. Oops. I don't appear to be immune to fire at the moment. Oh no, don't do that. And then if I can try and kill the minions without killing King Slime, then I get extra chances at a key drop. Who do we have here? Sid. So that's, I think, the 4th town slime I've unlocked and about in the world. I don't know how you unlock all of them. At the moment, I've just been getting them without trying, so I haven't been putting much effort into it. But I'm sure at some point I'll work out the ones I still need to collect. I didn't check this chest. I know the problem. I'm using a pre-hard mode weapon against a hard mode enemy. Doesn't help. An encumbering stone. There we go, I should still be able to pick up items. Let's test it out by picking up some coins. Yep. Aha, a bass statue. I don't think I've found one of those yet, and I believe they give a defense buff when you place them, which is helpful. And would you look at that, another one. And there's an ancient chisel, which is what I needed for the gizmo pack upgrade. So I still don't think I've found myself a desert key. Just going around and finding all these chests that I haven't found yet, looting them and all of that. Let me check my void bag to see if there's a desert key in here. No, not yet. There we go. I've got the desert key now. So that's now all the keys I have. I can pick sack all the things that I collected, including, let's see, don't need an encumbering stone. An ancient cloth. I don't believe I recognize it, but I probably have seen it before. But we'll just go quickly ask the guide what it does. So makes some vanity items. Okay. That one. This one. Now then, we've got some bass statues, some more items that I don't have a need for. Let's do some quick stacking, because I'm sure some of this can. And so now it's time to prepare for a Plantera fight. Let's get a few torches around the place, just so I can see a bit better. So there is this area up here that's mostly clear and will serve as a good starting point for a Plantera fight, but instead of digging it all out, I'm going to instead actuate it. The idea there being that it won't end up with Plantera leaving a jungle biome, which is a problem that you can face if you make your Plantera arena too large. Well, that was a lot harder than I expected. As soon as I started opening up the area, all of the hornets around, they just had such a clear shot at me. So I'm gonna buff, and I should be able to summon another minion. And now I can get the fight underway. So it's nice and open. Let's see, where is she? She's over here. And there is room down below for the like the bouncing balls and whatnot to fall down without bouncing back up to hit me. Let's see if this is slightly easier. Oops, until I end up falling down below. Now, there are a few NPCs down there who might end up dying. Why can't I aim? Okay, so I think the arena is a little bit too large because I'm actually struggling to stay in it. Especially when I keep falling towards Plantera. However, I'm not actually getting hit all that often. So that's a success at least. And we must be nearing second phase. I definitely think the light discs are the way to go for now. Here we go, second phase, lots of enemies, lots of health bars. But haven't had to heal yet. Yeah, definitely need somewhere in the middle to reliably reset my flight time. Let's try this one. Although it does rely on me having to aim, which isn't that great when I can't remember where my mouse cursor is. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Don't get caught up. So the other weapon that is probably particularly good is the Death Sickle, especially since the sickles hang around a little bit, so I can actually keep my distance. Oh, I didn't execute that particularly well. But when all is said and done, the fight didn't go too badly. Let's pick up the treasure bag. And now there's a whole lot more content. But that can be a problem for the next episode. Let's get all of those back away. And find that treasure bag. Here we go. Let's open it and see what we get. Wasp gun. So we're now in the post-Plantera stage of the game. That means that things like the hard mode jungle, hard mode dungeon unlocked. And I realized that I'm not actually going to get a mushroom man, a truffle spawn here, as it is too far underground. He needs to spawn above the surface, so on the surface layer or higher. So I'll sort that out in between episodes. And the other thing I shall work on between episodes is getting a little bit closer to sorting out what I want to do for my loadouts. Somewhere in one of these chests I know I have a step stool, but I can't seem to find it at the moment. So I'll keep looking for that, and I will see you for the next episode.